So, Andy, if we can look back at last weekend's result, not one that anyone would have wanted, but we did seem to match Southend for long parts of the match.
Yeah, we felt that in the first 20 minutes, possibly half an hour, things weren't going too bad. We were playing into a stiffish breeze, and yeah, maybe they'd squandered a couple of chances, but perhaps we could take some credit for putting pressure on them to make them make those mistakes. And we'd butchered a couple of chances ourselves, one particular one, but and so 20 minutes, half an hour into it, 17, 24-0 down, I felt that we were competing well. And then, be it lack of concentration, fitness, whatever, and we conceded three quick tries just before half time, and now we're going in 40 odd points down. Um, and so, Mike and I were both a little bit disappointed with them in the first half because we felt that they'd let themselves down in just a 10-minute spell. And when we did say that to them, let them know our feelings in that respect. And then in the second half, we really just didn't get going at all. We didn't get our hands on the ball in that first sort of half an hour. And then, the last 15 minutes when you're 95 down, they're sort of battling hard to try and stop the 100-pointer, and it was the last play of the game that created it. So, yeah, in stages, we're competing. We're not creating chances. We are creating chances. We're just not taking them. They need to have a bit more belief that they can take these chances, I think, and stop making silly mistakes and occasionally dumb decisions, I think. But I'm sure it'll come. I'm sure it'll come.
Okay, and this week, has the squad trained with the Stags?
Yeah, we did that on Tuesday. It's something we've been working towards. Julian's made plenty of references to it on the website, on the discussion group, and we trained together. The two clubs trained together on Tuesday night. So myself, Mike Marchant, and Rob Green were here, and we split the group into they all trained together in the early stages of warming up and the early exercises that we did. Then we split the group into three separate groups and tried to mix and match. And we did three specific things. So they had each coach for 20 minutes, and each coach had the three groups in rotation. And it went well. I think most people enjoy themselves. Hopefully, everybody got something out of it. And it's something we're working towards. We should all be just wanting to play rugby in the Newbury area. Yes, ideally, I think the vast majority of us realise that it would be better if we were all playing under the same flag. That's not the case at the moment, but we're still making roads in that direction. But the first thing is that we get the players playing together, training together, and then we'll see where that goes from here. So tonight, I've spoken to Nigel Beale and made the offer that they can. We can train together again. There will come a point, obviously, when both sides will want to prepare for their respective fixtures at the weekend, but that would happen anyway, and so we can split at that point. And hopefully it'll be something that goes on, and the players will get used to each other. I think there's a lot of history. It's not old history, but there's a lot of history. Some of the players know about it. They perhaps don't understand about it, and it's sort of stymiering the whole process. They're getting involved with things they really don't need to get involved with. So I think all the right people are talking now, and hopefully we can get to everybody pulling in the right direction, the same direction. I think is the best way to put it.
Okay, great. So looking ahead to the weekend, we're away at Clifton, another team that are not having a great start to the season. Are you particularly targeting this game to get some points?
Well, we have to be realistic. We're at the bottom of the league. And the people that we need to beat are the sides that are down the bottom of the league with us. Now, we're the only side that hasn't won a game now, I think. I'm not sure about Hinckley. Maybe they've just picked up a load of bonus points. But there are, 2, 3, 4 sides just above us who have only won a game, and Clifton are one of those. I'm sure they're pretty disappointed with the fact that they haven't been able to improve on the one win that they got, which was Ding's second game of the season when they beat them by a point. That was the week after Dings had put 80 points on us. So I suppose they looked from there and thought, right, we can move on. But they haven't been winning since then. They picked up bonus points. They lost by a similar margin to we did against Henley. So perhaps, yes, if we're going to pull ourselves out of this, we've got to beat the sides down the bottom here. So Ellen Clifton would be one of them. Westcombe Park next week is another one, of course. And so we certainly didn't target any games at the beginning of the season, but we're now starting to get realistic, and we've got to beat the sides at the bottom. So we're going to go down to Clifton, determined to get something out of it again, and get rid of that performance from last week. We can't be having that happening again.
Okay, and in terms of the squad for Saturday, who are you looking at?
It's almost picking itself at the moment with one or two injuries and the inevitable unavailabilities. So pretty much the same squad that went down to Southend, and we'll add to that probably Claude Springer, who was unavailable last week, hoping to put Jack into that squad. We sort of rested his shoulder a bit last week, and Andy Gale came all the way down from Birmingham to fill in his spot. But Jack's picked up another injury now midweek, and we're waiting to see what happens physio-wise tonight. Thankfully, we've managed to rearrange Tom Fiddler and Martin Freeman's coaching course, which was due to take place this weekend, for another weekend. It does mean we will lose them ultimately on a Saturday, but as we've just said, it's better that we lose them for a game with a top-rated side rather than one where we would look to get something out of it like this weekend. So they're both with us this weekend. And then another person who would come in is a guy called Ed Finley, who is a product of our cult system, and he's been away travelling for a year or two, so he's back. We might bring him into the squad. We'll just see how it goes tonight, really.